another episode of We Speak. I'm your host, Prez. We are joined here today by a special guest. His name is Judge Jim Gray. It's
nice to be with you.
Pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Well, we are hearing all about Mitt Romney and all about President Barack Obama on the 2012 ticket. Why haven't we heard more about the Libertarian Party and its candidates?
Prez, it's amazing. We are on the ballots in at least 48 states plus the District of Columbia. We're the third largest party in the United States. We really are financially responsible and socially tolerant. We'll be competitive.
So when you say we will be competitive and we are a viable party?
Yes, the Libertarian Party. We
right.
have a very successful two-term governor of New Mexico. Governor Gary Johnson actually reduced their problems monetarily because he left the state with $1 billion surplus, actually helped create, by getting the government out of the way, more jobs in the private sector per capita than any other state. And actually, I bring something to this as well. I'll be the first Peace Corps volunteer to be elected to national office, and I'm proud of that. I really care about people. I'm the only one of the 6 of us running for president or vice president that served in the military. In fact, I was awarded a combat action ribbon in the rivers of Vietnam. I'm a former federal prosecutor and a judge in Orange County, California, in the trial court for about 25 years. So we actually are more experienced and more qualified than anybody else running.
Why aren't we hearing about that? If there's a third candidate on the ballot, I'd like to hear more about them.
Well, you know, the mainstream media really has their winners. And they, for example, I'll tell you a quick story. Jesse Ventura, the former independent governor of Minnesota, was being interviewed on CNN Live. He said he hereby endorses Governor Gary Johnson, the Libertarian candidate for president. And what happened is that was live. When they put it on their website, they deleted that endorsement. So it's really, you know, they just have their own people. MSNBC, of course, they're for the Republican. CNN is for the Democrat. But it's a question of exposure. If we just get 5% of the vote in this election, it will be the beginning of the end of the two-party system, and then it will require the radical elements on each side to come more toward the middle, because we are in the mainstream. Just get us that 5%. And then in 2016, we'll be able to get matching funds from the federal government. All the states where we get that pretty much will put us on the ballot without having to jump through all those hoops.
What is the banner issue of the Libertarian Party for this election?
Well, clearly, we have 3 issues that are talking about anything, but the 3 issues are the economy, jobs, and education. Because today, with regard to the economy, for every dollar, people don't realize this, the depth of the problem. For every dollar the federal government now spends, we're borrowing 43 cents or printing it. Wow. No company could possibly do this and stay in business. No household could do this without being in bankruptcy. Let me tell you a secret, no country can either. It's our future. The biggest security threat to the United States of America is a weak and failing economy. And guess where we're going? We're Greece, Prez. You know, wow. We are much bigger than Greece. We don't have Germany and the European Union to bail us out. We must be financially responsible, and we're not.
You've asked us, voters, to be libertarian just this once. Well, with the Electoral College, and folks with votes going to either Mitt Romney or Barack Obama, how would our votes count?
Be part of history. If you just vote for us and give us that 5%, which sounds defeatist, but since we were not in the presidential debates, we're not probably going to win the presidency this time, but you give us that 5%, we'll be competitive, and then, you know, talk about a wasted vote. If you are a Democrat and Obama does not represent you with what he has done, a wasted vote is voting for Obama because you're telling the Democratic Party, hey, this man is acceptable to us. You're a Republican and you vote for Romney and he doesn't represent you. It's a wasted vote to vote for them because they're telling the Republican Party this man is okay. Vote for Governor Gary Johnson. He's the guy.
If we vote for the people's president, that is, I believe, a bumper sticker message,
True
a
enough.
bumper sticker
You've done your
slogan.
homework. You're right.
If we vote for the people's president this one time, would that count in the popular vote?
Indeed so. In fact, again, we'll be on the ballots in 48 states. Michigan and Oklahoma, the Republicans have gone around the country challenging our ability to be on the vote, on the ballot. Michigan and Oklahoma probably we're not going to be, but they can still write us in. But you know, it's It's so discouraging because I love my country, I know we all do, but that prosperity, that equal opportunity, that freedom is literally slipping through our fingers today, and it's wrong.
How is the Libertarian Party going to help us get a handle on things again?
You know something? We talk about reality. And as far as jobs are concerned, I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but if we were to repeal the income tax, that literally would make our goods, our goods around the world, be it manufactured or agricultural, more competitive. And in fact, I was on a plane recently. I do a lot of flying, as you can imagine.
I'm sure.
I was talking to a man who's an executive from Nike, you know, the shoe manufacturer. He said, Judge Gray, if we were to repeal the income tax, that would cause most companies to bring their manufacturing back to the United States of America. It will actually allow people to make business decisions for business reasons instead of tax reasons, personal decisions for personal reasons instead of tax reasons, not have to keep all those tax records and pay money to submit your income taxes.
Sure.
It's really exciting, but it will bring in millions and millions of jobs.
But we're not hearing this discussion on the campaign trail by either candidate. Why is that? And what can everyday Americans do about that, Judge Gray?
You can actually look at what's going on today with the so-called Presidential Debates Commission. Completely, they set the rules for who is invited to the presidential debates and what the procedures will be. Absolutely thoroughly controlled by Republicans and Democrats. It used to be the League of Women Voters, but they very publicly withdrew their name because they did not want to be involved with the hoodwinking of America. So we're going to have to bring a lawsuit, and we will, to show the world how this is basically being so anti-competitive, so simply keeping for themselves selfishly this extremely important election. We're going to do that.
If we have 3 candidates running for president and 3 candidates running for vice president, I mean, these are positions that lead our nation in the world. I personally, and I'm sure our voters and the viewers would like to know and hear more about what the third party is speaking on, what their issues are, and what their concerns are. So, everyday folks, there is a third party. It is the Libertarian Party. And Governor Gary Johnson is running for president, and as you can see and you have heard from Judge Jim Gray running for vice president. And do your homework, go online. They both have websites, and it's not a matter of abandoning your party at all. It's about exploring the issues, and you as a voter, you are entitled to all of the information. So if we have a third candidate on the ballot, why not, mass media? Let's hear from them too. Judge Gray, is there a policy that needs to be changed in order for us to hear about any other candidates other than the Democrat and the Republican candidates?
It's a question of exposure, that we are in the political mainstream of American political thought. We're both financially responsible and socially tolerant. We are there. We're libertarians. We believe in competition. And in fact, if other parties can be on enough ballots technically to win enough electoral college votes to win the presidency, they should be there too. People deserve a choice. And the Republicans and Democrats, you know, that's brilliant the way they've been able to keep all of this for themselves, but the people of the United States lose. And you listen to these debates, so-called, they're not discussing issues that should be discussed. This failed and hopeless policy of drug prohibition. The idea of bombing Iran, going to war with Iran. We say we're not going to bomb or go to war with anybody unless they attack us or our allies. This will not be discussed. This whole Obamacare, Romney is the architect of Obamacare. He's not going to orphan his own child. And it's like having the Department of Motor Vehicles run our health care. Just there are other ways, better ways of doing it. I have a defect as a candidate.
What's that defect exactly?
I'll tell you the truth. You can see exactly where we stand. We will tell you exactly where we stand, and you will love it. I'm a trial court judge, and I'm going to tell you the truth. And we will, Governor Johnson will as well. He's just the real deal. It just means that he wants to get all the right information he can, do the right thing for the right reason. We will work for America.
Well, folks, let's do the right thing for the right reason. That is, if you're unhappy with the Republican Party and not quite satisfied with the Democrat Party, do the right thing. Vote your conscience. Speak. Join us the next time. Thank you, Judge Gray.
Pleasure. Life is good.
Pleasure. Yes, fantastic. All the best.
Thank you.